And this has to do with a future tether line, because where the sphere of Mente was moved to is in relation to space-time on Earth here. It would be 3033 AD in the future. So there's something called the Blue Lotus Future Tether Line that techniques that we're working with now will allow us to reestablish through the Crystal Bridge Passage and the Crystal River Failsafe Host, reestablish our connection to the Sphere of Mente and to the Ark of the Covenant gates that lead into it. So this was like a huge amount of information that they just started to give us as of about November of last year. So it's very exciting for us because for a while there, it felt pretty depressing when you had crazy things happening once the trumpets were released in 2016, in November of 2016. And it was a very scary and depressing time. And then you had COVID hit as if it weren't bad enough to begin with. So it's been a really tough time, even on the 3D level, for everybody on the planet. And the things that we've been watching unfold on the planet since that time, since 2016, these are the beginnings of the outpicturings of the invisible war drama, the final conflict drama that we've been talking about and warning about since 1999 when the books first came out. So I just wanted to let you know that there is this whole body of information that brings like where we were up to where we are and where we're going with this information, with the work from the Guardians. And it is getting exciting again because it was a bit of a struggle just being on planet, honestly, for the last, since 2016 especially. But it started to get weird around 2012, and then it just progressively got worse for a while. It will be getting better in certain ways. Frequency-wise, it will be getting much better. But there is still a polarity drama that is occurring on this planet, and that's not going to change, nor is it going to stop. Oh boy, you're going there too. Sorry, I'm talking to the Guardians because they're talking to me. Yes, we're going here. It's like, okay, I didn't know they were going to bring this up. Okay. One of the things they wanted to point out was that even in Voyagers, Volume 2, second edition, we have a chart somewhere on 446 or something like that, but it shows the seedings, the 3 seedings of the angelic human lineage on Earth. The first was like 25 million years ago, I believe, and that was ended by the electric wars. And then the second seeding ended by what was called the Thousand Years' War. And if we look at both of those seedings that accomplish certain things as far as re-evolving the angelic human lineage that had fallen from Tau, and they both ended through their own smaller final conflict dramas. What they hadn't said in Voyagers, they did say there were 3 seedings, and we're part of the 3rd seeding. We are part of the seeding that began, I think it was like 800,000 years ago. It's in the Voyagers book. And that is still going. That's what we're a part of. They told me about a year and a half ago, and it made me worried. They said, if you notice that the first 2 seedings, it took about 1,000 years for them to end. Like the 1,000 Years' War, there was 1,000 years of conflict and polarity drama before that seeding was done and had to be reseeded. The same type of about 1,000 years was also what the electric wars period took. This is the 3rd seeding, and they let me know that this is the final seeding of the angelic human lineage on Earth, because Earth is going into Ascension Planet, and whatever in the 3rd seeding can do the Ascension path will, and whatever can't won't. It will do the fall paths with the part of the inorganic part of Earth that is referred to as Thea, which is part of the Hostmasters program, so I won't go heavily into that. But they do want us to know something, that we have entered the beginning of the end of the 3rd seeding. Now, it's not to be afraid. It's not that, oh no, the world is ending tomorrow. Not at all. Again, we're entering that 1,000-year period. We have about 1,000 years before the official end of the 3rd seeding. But what you'll find in the ends of seedings, that 1,000-year period at the end of a seeding cycle, is you will see polarity dramas. So we will see polarity dramas in various forms, from smaller ones to larger ones, over the next 1,000 years. And that's the not great news. But the great news is every time, the Guardians are eternal beings, so they're always aware of what is happening with the seedings here, and they can't interfere but they can intervene in a certain context, and they always do. At the end of every seating, where they see that 1,000-year window coming in, where, okay, the polarity drama is reaching its crescendo during this period, that's when they start bringing the ascension teachings back in. That's when they start training those who want to learn try to help them remember what the ascension path was, how it works. So for that 1,000-year period, they can begin to get their body systems ready, their consciousness ready to make that transition into higher density levels, so they can move out, because there will always be a part of each of the seedings that will come into the ascension path. So it is in that 1,000-year window at the end of a seeding that they begin to bring the teachings back again and begin to train people in how to use their bodies. And this time it's the final conflict drama that involves the plasmas as well, where the teachings to the level of the plasma body teachings that they're giving now, these have never been given on Earth before. These are much higher levels than what have been given before. They weren't needed for the level of ascension that was taking place in the 2 earlier seedings. In this seeding it is, because in this final conflict drama, we've hit reclamation cycle set 5, and that's the big one. So they're giving us the much larger context of the ascension program and how it works. So the techniques that they're giving us now, the final technique sets, they are, first of all, going to assist us in activating our plasma bodies and our Templar bodies, I like to call them. That means the crystal body, the light body, the Rasha dark matter body, the external creation levels, where we can open them into the plasmas finally, and that will allow us to link into that future tether line to 3033 AD, and it's a specific place. It's the original divine blueprint for Earth is in M31 Andromeda Galaxy, and it was called Eartha 3, and that is where they have moved the sphere of Amente to, that is the race morphogenetic field. That is what we need to tether to. And once we can make that tether line link, it will be like a tractor beam that will move us through whatever the polarity dramas are and keep us on track so we don't get dragged down into the polarity dramas. So it's really quite a big deal of what's going on. It's almost such a large deal, even in context of the 3 seedings of the angelic human lineage on Earth. It's such a big deal that it almost sounds silly to attempt to talk about it, because it just sounds so out there. Well, it is out there, up there, through there. We're in amazing times right now. Right now they may seem a little scary, but we are learning the technologies that we can choose to use if we want to assist ourselves in staying on the organic ascension paths. And those who have, in other lifetimes or even in this one, have entered paths of fall, what is precious about the teachings, and the teachings are just verbalizing the processes that actually occur and the experiences that are available. When you get into a situation where you get the 5 RRRs, the 5 cycle sets of re-evolutionary rise reconnection, when they activate concurrently, that means even people that have gone not on just phantom fall path, but gone fall path, they have their only opportunity to actually catch ascension wave again, so they can go up in that space dust return. So this is huge. It means everybody can get back on the ascension bus if they want to. And it's all very personal. We teach people the teachings, and they can use them, as they choose to. There's no obligation to any of us at all, nor to the guardians. They are just here to bring back the information, because they believe, and so do I, and that's why I've been in this work for so long with them, that if people knew, if they had a chance to remember the true ways and the mechanics of what real ascension is, the science of ascension, if they could remember, they would make better choices, and they wouldn't keep making choices that end them up, like individually or in mass, in paths of fall. So we are again bringing the teachings back, but this is the big game, the end game, and there's 1,000 years of it. So it's like, don't panic now. You don't have to panic at all. It's progressively, sometimes patience is the thing that we need most. We've had to use that over the last 7 years with this workshop, and I imagine we'll still have to use it for quite a while. But